Hi everybody, it's Diane. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I did with these fall napkins, and also I'm going to show you the smash book that I just finished. So I have these fall napkins. If you like these napkins, I still have some in the fall junk journal supply kits. There's a couple left in my shop, and all of these napkins are in that supply kit. So I took some of these. I wanted to just do a little bit of decoupage in the smash book that I'm making, but I went ahead while I had the Mod Podge out and everything. I just went ahead and made some other projects that I can put in my stash, and these don't have to necessarily be for fall. Now, if I use the cornucopia, yes, I would use that for fall. But these just have some of the pretty flowers. So I took this craft, it's a nice heavy-duty craft envelope, and I just Mod Podged those gorgeous flowers onto one end of it. This little craft bag with this damask design has some flowers, and it's kind of stuck to the back. Go. This comes in handy for that. So it's very subtle. It doesn't show up a great deal, and you can still see the damask through it, but it adds some texture and interest, so I did that. I made quite a few, well, several anyway, tags. This is the same napkin that I used on this. And I might stamp something over here, like some sort of a background stamp. This is one of the seed envelopes from Target, and this one doesn't have a window, and it's craft, and I used the sunflower napkin, this one. Something got stuck on it, so I'll have to put something else on it. I could do more with these. When I'm ready to use them, I could collage something on them or stamp something on them, but right now I just did the Mod Podge to have that done. Trim that little bit off. There's another tag, and on this side I use part of the recipe that came on the napkin too. A couple more glassine bags. Make sure that they're open all the way. They're still a little bit damp. These flowers from the Pioneer Woman napkins are so pretty. Very vibrant colors. And this was not a fall napkin, it was just in my stash, and I had this really cool envelope that opens this way. And so I had done one with the fall napkin, and I decided to do one with a pretty floral napkin too. This one has a pumpkin in it. And then I did a couple, well, 3 time cards to use up the last of that napkin with the all-over pattern. And I can do more embellishing to them. And lastly, I took this brown book cover that I had and Mod Podged the napkin onto it. So I can put all of those things in my stash and have them for future projects. Now let me show you the smash book that I completed. I really love the way this turned out. Fall is my favorite time of year. I love the colors and everything. I just love fall. So this was a pleasure to make. I used a brown fabric covered hardback book cover. I think I got all the words in there. And it was a book about music, the history of music, I think it was called, and it had the title up here. So I just made this card to glue over the title. I do have a video of showing how I decorated the cover, doing this part and this part. So I used the Tim Holtz ornate plate, and I stamped the word blessings on a little oval die cut or punch out that I had, or I had to punch it out, but it fits this oval pretty well. So I stamped blessings on there and put that in there. And I used this background paper to cover the inside and then folded it over, and that way it covers the raw edge here where I took the book apart. On the inside I used a book plate from a Reader's Digest because it was brown. The edges had a little bit of adhesive because I didn't put the paper over far enough, and I had the adhesive on the back. So I had to cover that up, and I just found this perfect woven ribbon. It's gold with the rust-colored edges. Dark rust. So I put that on the top and the side. I took a cream-colored envelope and edged it with vintage photo ink, and took a strip of one of the cut-off papers and just glued it here and here. And then I glued the envelope down like this so that it's a tuck spot. And inside the envelope are some recipe cards, fall recipe cards. I thought this would be a fun place to write your favorite fall recipes. And this journal is for a customer. So Nancy, you can write your favorite fall recipes on those cards and have them right in the front of your book where they're easy to find. And then I made this tag with my Cricut, and so I just tucked that inside there. The pages are from assorted scrapbooking kits, and this is a heavy one, so there's all different weights. This came from a journal that I've had for a long time, and it has fall images on it. This is, and it has a Halloween image on the back, some little kids going trick-or-treating. This is a thinner paper, and I stamped some scarecrows down here. I used brown ink for the stamping in here. This is thinner, but it's double-sided. And this is an image that I had cut out of a book, and I loved it, so I stuck it on there. I had a book that I recently made a clue book out of, or a smash book. I made a smash book out of it in one of my recent batches, and it was Mrs. Sharp's Traditions or something like that. So I took all the fall pages and put them in this book. So we have Grandparents' Day here and a poem about September. I put a little tab here. This is a nice sturdy page, and I folded it over so you have a nice flap, and I cut this out of one of the Tim Holtz papers. It says Autumn. I love this one. And I did a little collage right here on the corner of this page. Mod Podge, I mean, with one of the napkins. This is a Tim Holtz paper, and it has a bunch of fall recipes. And then I love this leaf that I made with my Cricut. And I just took a tag and glued on one of the little pumpkins that I had gotten in a Happy Mail last year. And then I stuck one of the coasters in there. Here's a page from the Mrs. Sharp's book, and there's a little girl raking leaves. And in this pocket I put another tag that I made with my Cricut, and then a couple of the cutouts from the Tim Holtz paper. I think they're copies of vintage postcards. This was just a small piece of scrapbook paper, so I just put it in there and stamped some leaves down the side. And this is a wallpaper envelope, and inside are just some pieces that Nancy can use in the book. She can glue this down to write on if she wants to, and if it's not November, she can cut that part off and just have the scarecrow. Here's a little frame she can put where she wants and put something in it. A cut off of the paper and a couple of the recipes from the Tim Holtz paper and a label. And then she can put whatever she wants to keep, memorabilia and whatnot, inside this envelope after she takes those pieces out and uses them. This looks like an Art Deco design to me. That's what this was cut off from. Came off the top of that. And I made a pocket here out of a couple of different scrapbook papers, and this says leaves. And this was a vellum piece that I had printed. I think it was a freebie. So I printed it a couple years ago, I think. And I printed, did I say I printed it on vellum? And it's some songs about autumn. And I just cut some cream colored copy paper and made a little booklet to tuck in here. And I took another one of those pumpkins that I got in the Happy Mail and made a paper clip out of it. And then I paper clipped the scarecrow on there. I cut the November part off the top of that. So I can just clip this on there. She can move it around to wherever she wants. This is a beautiful DCWV paper pad that I've had for quite a few years, and I think it's just about gone. I think all I had left were the fall pages, and they're just so beautiful. And this is a strip of the one page that was just strips that you could cut apart. I just glued that on there for decoration. I made this banner, this pennant, with my Cricut. I just stapled it there. You could probably use it as a tuck spot. I love these stamps from Stampin' Up. There's a poem about November. And on this flip out, I have the glassine bag that I decoupaged on, and I made a tag out of the cut-off scraps of paper. And I had some fall fabric, and I said that I don't usually use fabric in smash books, but I might. But I didn't really. All I did was make this tag topper, and then I tied a piece of it onto a paper clip later on in the book. So I didn't really use fabric in here, just those little bits. I love this picture of the Pilgrim children. And this has a brief history of Thanksgiving. So here's a paper clip with a little bit of fabric on it. And here is one of the envelopes that I used the cornucopia napkin on. And inside is just a cut off of that paper that has the strips in it. And it's white on the back, so you can journal on the back. I folded it over and just clipped it on like that. This is a piece of wallpaper that has fall colors in it. This is a pretty stamp. I've had that for a long time. I just love that. Again, that looks Art Deco. There's another pennant that I made with my Cricut with falling leaves. And a page from the Mrs. Sharp's book about Thanksgiving. And there's another Stampin' Up! Pumpkin stamp that I love. And the ink that I used, I believe, is called Pumpkin Pie from Stampin' Up! I just used one of the cut-off parts from the DCWV paper, rounded the corners, and then I took this turkey napkin holder, I guess it was. You were supposed to fold it together, but I put it on as a little tuck spot there. This is the cover from a vintage November Jack and Jill magazine. November 1960, 35 cents. And it's got Pilgrim children and all these little icons along the sides. Thanksgiving Grace. And another DCWV piece. And it has a little quote about Thanksgiving there. And this says fall with one of those little pumpkins glued on. On the back, I used another piece of that Art Deco paper at the top here. And I glued on this library pocket that I had made with my Cricut years ago. I thought this paper was perfect with it. And then I just added a little piece of fabric ribbon, a plaid one. And this little printable that I had from, let me get it in there, Christie Art Designs. And this is a smaller recipe card, so it fits in there. So Nancy, this is your smash book, and I hope you like it. And thanks everybody for watching, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Bye bye.